Welcome back. The need for leaders in Africa to build nations in which the citizens take priority above individual interests has again been highlighted by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. He was speaking in Lagos at the launch of the book, Africa Rise and Shine, written by the chairman of Zenith Bank, Mr. Jim Ovia. The Vice President, who described Mr. Ovia as an example in sacrifice and character, challenged Nigerians to imbibe the habit of delaying gratification as a prerequisite to building the Nigerian dream. The event was attended by eminent personalities from across Nigeria, including governors, traditional rulers, and prominent political leaders.
I would like to crave your indulgence and ask that you remain.
It's arguably one of the biggest events for the beginning of the week, judging by the array of guests in attendance.
Excellent.
Captains of business community, media moguls, traditional rulers, governors, political leaders, and of course, the country's vice president. A Nigerian has stepped up to write the African story, inspiring others to continue on the track of rising and shining. Dr. Christopher Collade is the first to bear his mind about the man and the book author, Jim Ovia.
He knows what he has come through in order to make the impact that he has made on our society. But he believes that there is something we can all learn from what he has come through. Therefore, I urge everyone who is here at this event and who will read the book not to miss the opportunity of finding out what there is to be learned from this story that we're being told.
Guests continued to make their way to the venue just as the floodgate of perspective on the book, Africa Rise and Shine, was opened.
They reviewed it and told him their...
A pleasant interruption happened when an elder statesman, a doyen of accountancy in Nigeria, and at over 99 years stood up to make remarks about the author with articulate expression. He's proudly called Mr. Ovia's mentor.
Fact that he is overloaded with work in the office, and for some time, little time is available to him, but he has done it, and I would appeal to every one of us to find time to read the book. Thank you very much. Age is telling on me, and I cannot stand for too long.
As he mounts the rostrum, Chairman CEO Channels Media Group, Mr. John Momo, hinged on the branding excerpts from the book and also had this to say.
Jim Ovia has written an insightful, enterprising, practical, and excellent book on how he's risen from $0 to $16 billion in Africa. And if Africa is the new frontier and Nigeria is the trigger that will make that happen, Jim Ovia has pulled the trigger.
Mr. Ovia's contribution to education also got some highlights from the academia.
It was Jim that insisted that those students that will have first class in the entire Faculty of Business Administration have a secure job at Zenith Bank.
Philanthropist and consummate executive in the oil and gas sector, Mr. Solakija, reckoned with the author's dexterity in his chosen career.
I'd like to say that Jim Ovia has somewhat become the godfather of banking in our times.
If you also look at the fact that 20, 30 years ago, maybe only 1 or 2 African countries were listed in London Stock Exchange. But now you have African countries listed in London Stock Exchange. So truly, Africa is rising.
Special guest of honor and Nigeria's Vice President takes a broader perspective on how to achieve collectively.
In Africa Rise and Shine, Jim uses his own story and many others to describe the trajectory of a continent and a nation that always appeared to be overcome by its challenges and contradictions. But like Jim's life story, the story of Africa and our nation will go well and will end well. We will renew ourselves. Jim's story gives us the key. At the end of the day, it's not about how much talent or how much potential. It's not about how the figures look in the first few days. It's about three things. 1, character. 2, character. 3, character.
Welcome to Sports News. Europe's biggest club competition, the UEFA Champions League, returns as the group phase of the 2018-2019 season will take center stage on Tuesday, September the 18th. 8 games will be played across Europe on Tuesday. There will be action in Group A, as Club Brugge will host German side Borussia Dortmund, while AS Monaco will play host to reigning Europa League champions Atletico Madrid. In Group B, former champions and defending La Liga champions Barcelona will face PSV Eindhoven, while Tottenham will travel to Inter Milan for their season opener. Last season's runners-up, Liverpool, will be at home to PSG at Anfield in Group C. Galatasaray and Lokomotiv Moscow will square up in Group D. Another Group D tie will be between Schalke and FC Porto. That's as far as we can go on Sports News. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Thanks, Olum. The rescuers in the Philippines have been sifting through mud and debris, looking for bodies buried following a landslide caused by Typhoon Mangot. The storm plowed across the main island of Luzon over the weekend, leaving more than 60 people dead. Teams have been digging through, rubble and with bare hands, passing blocks of concrete and pieces of wood to clear the area. And the main news again. The National Emergency Management Agency today declared a national disaster in Anambra, Delta and Niger states following massive flooding. The agency has also placed 8 other states on its watch list. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Onyato. You have a good night.